Hello, welcome to the Richly or Poorly Show. My name is Dr. Stephen Dawson, and I am your show host. Thank you for joining me. Please visit shdawson.com/podcast and click on the link Offer to learn about the Richly or Poorly Show. Here you can familiarize yourself with the show. Please listen to, follow, and like the show on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and wherever you listen. And please remember to leave the show a nice review. Please share the show with your friends. Send them the link to my podcast webpage and offer to help them set up their device to subscribe to the show. Thank you to the 6 streaming services that syndicate the Richly or Poorly Show. Finally, please continue to email your questions and comments about the show to service@shdawson.com. The show's motto is unmistakable. Richly is goodly. Please consider how you define the term good as we journey through life together in your pursuit of defining the term richly in your life. I shared last week that my presentations to you have been structured to establish a foundation of shared understanding between you, the listener, and me. Last week marked a milestone, bringing us to a point where this foundation has been established. Today, I will present what I see as the next industrial revolution by applying our new shared understanding. My intent is for you to have what I promised you during the December 2nd, 2025 episode. Specifically, both market analysis and economic analysis occurring through stories that are moving societies globally to help listeners not only understand the complicated, but also to learn a way to get their arms around what they learn by listening to the show to both gain and execute a tangible plan that is possible for them to accomplish in their lives. We will assemble the many pieces we have covered to date to build an even stronger understanding for you to be able to live your life more richly by you being able to use all we have covered in our time together. Easier than you imagine when you first started listening to the Richly or Poorly Show. I cast a wide net to the intended show audience of financial investors, skilled workers, service workers, and homemakers. I have worked in many types of jobs and in many types of companies. I am able to connect well with the members of this intended audience. The result relates to an audience across cultures, across countries, and across generations. Listeners have spent years striving for some specific form of success, but have not achieved their desired level. They have each reached a point of being sick and tired of not being able to live their life in a way that they define as more richly. They have reached a breaking point, tired of not living a richer life on their terms. This combination of circumstances motivates them to seek help to achieve their specific goals. Now, how your prepared participation in industrial revolutions can help you live your life more richly. Consider how over history, people went from working in fields to working in factories to working in their homes through computers. Consider how their work lives changed. Their families changed as a result of their work life changes, and how societies changed in different places in different countries. The first industrial revolution occurred between the years 1760 and 1840. The second industrial revolution occurred between the years 1870 and 1914. The third industrial revolution occurred between 1947 and today. The fourth industrial revolution began in 2010 and is now forming into its own revolution with the launch of the Small Modular Reactor. The acronym SMR identifies the Small Modular Reactor. The SMR is a smaller version of a nuclear reactor that generates electricity. SMRs are designed to be factory fabricated and transported to the installation site as prefabricated modules, allowing for streamlined construction, enhanced scalability, and potential integration into multi-unit configurations. I will not bore you with the technology used within an SMR. Suffice it to say, it is similar enough to the larger nuclear power plants in place for decades to produce about 60% of the electricity as the nuclear power plants we know today, for less money in the total life cost of the SMR. Japan announced on December 2nd, 2025, that the Nagita Assembly voted to restart the Kashiwazaki Kariwa nuclear power plant. This decision is a milestone for Japan. Japan idled all reactors after the 2011 Fukushima disaster. The smartphone in the hands of a high majority of people today affirms the need for places to hold and process the data we desire to see on our smartphones. Data is stored in data centers. The data centers have many fast computers to retrieve, analyze, and send us the data we desire to see on our smartphones. The missing piece in this picture is enough electricity to run all this technology for us. Hence, why I see the SMR as the clear evidence we are in the fourth industrial revolution and not an advancement of the third industrial revolution. The SMR technology is now starting its first field test in the United States. The test involves establishing an SMR for both generating and providing electricity to the national electrical grid, supplying electricity to homes, businesses, and industrial facilities, as does any other power generation source connected to the electrical grid. The Department of Energy regulates all SMR activity. The Tennessee Valley Authority is the first organization the Department of Energy has licensed to operate an SMR on the national electrical grid. The Tennessee Valley Authority is a federally owned electric utility corporation in the United States that produces electricity for electricity distribution companies, being the local power company, for anyone who wants to purchase electricity. The SMR license was issued December 2nd, 2025. The site of the first SMR is Oak Ridge, Tennessee. The plan is to run the SMR for between 7 and 15 years to prove the technology is stable, feasible, and ready for large-scale implementation. 7 years from today is the year 2033. 15 years from today is the year 2041. The next generation of supercomputers is called quantum computers. They run so hot that they must be cooled with near ice temperatures. The electricity necessary to generate this cooling is substantial. The IBM Corporation has the world's first quantum computer ready for sale in late 2025. All CEOs in this world will have a quantum computer in their hands in 10 years, 2036. Many CEOs in this world will have a quantum computer in their hands in 7 years, 2033. 2033 is the beginning of the decision point time frame of the SMR test occurring at the Oak Ridge site. Clearly, the events scheduled to occur in the years 2033 to 2041 are momentous in forming the fourth industrial revolution into a separate event in history from the third industrial revolution. I said to you during the December 16th, 2025 episode, I do not share recommendations with anyone without first gaining many inputs for me to consider and form a recommendation. It is inappropriate for me to share a recommendation with you through the Richly or Poorly show because it would be irresponsible of me to act in an unreasonable manner. It is unreasonable to form a recommendation without having all the necessary inputs to process and form a recommendation. It is part of my worldview not to recommend until I have enough understanding of the respective data life cycle for the person seeking my recommendation. I then said to you during the January 6th, 2026 episode, a suggestion, not a recommendation. Today, here is my suggestion to you. I present this suggestion in 4 parts. First, spend about 5 minutes in the coming week looking on the internet to get a grasp of small modular reactor technology. Not much understanding is necessary of this technology, simply that you are aware of the current events regarding small modular reactors. Second, spend about another 5 minutes in the coming week looking on the internet to get a grasp of the Tennessee Valley Authority. Not much understanding is necessary of this organization, simply that you are aware of the current events of the organization. You will find its executive leadership is changing immensely as of late. Third, consider what you know of history and match the dates I presented in this episode to your understanding of history. You will see quickly how industrial revolutions have helped shape societies, national economies, and global trade. Finally, plan to be happy about how you can benefit from your participation in the 4th Industrial Revolution. I will present more on this topic next week by sharing my help with you about how my intended show audience of financial investors, skilled workers, service workers, and homemakers who are sick and tired of being sick and tired of not being able to live their life in a way that they define as more richly can experience the 4th Industrial Revolution more beneficially. Beneficially in terms of monetary gains, peace of mind, and less risk of harm to you from those who are approaching the 4th Industrial Revolution as something they will figure out after it happens. Well, that's it for today. Richly is goodly. Are you understanding more about the terms richly and goodly in your life and how you want to apply them in your life? Please consider all you've heard from me today. I hope you are excited about how you can apply the material I present to you on the show to your life so you can live your life more richly than you have ever known. Try to settle in your mind my role in your life. Doing so will help you be ready to continue your journey with loads of joy and excitement about the good results in your life gained from experiencing all I have to share with you. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Richly or Poorly Show. I have enjoyed presenting to you today. Until the next episode, I hope you will be safe and join me next week. Until then.